How is everybody tonight? What is happening? I'm using the Polar Go stereo. We're in stereo, dude. So, I'm using the mic on the Polar Go now. That's plugged into my phone. That's why I've got the phones on tonight. We're trying something different. I think the audio quality is better, but it also picks up a lot of noise in the house. You can hear the soda cans and everything. But yeah, man, glad to be here. I see we've got Paul monitoring it. Shane Shrimp, you know where you are. You're in the jungle, baby. That's right. Paul, how you doing, brother? Glad to have you here. Let's get those thumbs up. Bob, how you doing, brother? Ted, how you doing? Demonetize is here tonight, thankfully, and Dave Strong is here, thankfully, as well, and Paul is here. So we've got all our moderators. We just ask that everybody be cool to everybody, and thank you, Tammy. Tammy says, Brad, that wall is phenomenal. I agree. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. Glad to have you here. Doris, hey, dude. She says, hey, dudes. Glad to have you here. And we're going to have fun tonight, man. It's been a tough week. I had a little bit of a shoulder injury. It's getting better. I'm not 100%, and I'm taking a little time off from just grinding super hard and playing and that. But all in all, it's still good. Now, it is tough for me to reach up and touch that. So I'll be operating the phone with my left hand, and we're going to have some fun tonight. So that's what it's all about, right? Backstage with Bad Brad. This is episode 43. Tony says, from toting that Les Paul. Man, I think really what did it was, and so I'm still left-handed apparently. Well, thank you, Doris. I've let everybody know at YouTube that I'm having the issue with the left-handedness. I am a right-handed guitar player. Those guitars should look all right-handed, and for some reason, it's just been this weird glitch with YouTube. I've spent an hour in tech support with them, and I just today not re-downloaded it, but updated the app to fix bugs. So for now, I am a left-handed guitar player. Not really. No, I'm a right-handed guitar player, but it's just the way it's rolling right now with this. So Earl, how you doing, brother? Glad to have you here. And we're just having some fun on a Saturday night. Now, if there's anything anybody wants to ask, please ask. Bob Nagy is saying, I just bought a Squier Affinity Series Stratocaster in Olympic White. Very cool. New guitar day for Bob Nagy. That's very cool. Hank the Hillbilly says he snuck backstage. Hey, we all snuck backstage, and that's why we're here. So, man, I'm really digging this. I did a demo today of the Polar Go, and I'll tell you what, man, this thing sounds great. It sounds like a stereo condenser mic. So, man, you could cut vocals with this thing. You can plug your guitar in the side. Chris Michael J, glad to have you here. Down under, mate. Down under. But man, this thing is cool. It's plugged into my phone. I'm hearing myself in the headphones, and it sounds crisp and clear. The problem is it picks up everything like a condenser mic. Yeah, the sound is great. Yes, we're taking a step up. And they show it on a mic stand. Yeah, I saw some kind of stand they had it on, Mike, but I'm going to have to do some research on that. So, I'm going to have to figure out what's the best sound. Now, look, you can hear this. We've got the stereo cracking of the seltzer water. Oh, that's delicious. That is good. That is real good. So, yeah, man. Hank is saying, do I like Mick Mars as a dude and a player? I certainly don't know him as a dude, but from what I understand, he's a cool dude. And man, you got to respect Mick Mars. They had a lot of success, and he played the right parts and created some legendary jams with Motley Crue. So absolutely, why not? What's not to like? Hey, Rye Guy says I was about to grab my guitar, but saw this. Well, here's the cool thing about this, man. This is the kind of chat you could sit with your guitar and play a couple licks and hang out with us backstage, man. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think everybody's in agreement that Mick Mars is a great guitar player, legendary guitar player. So, Rye Guy, glad to have you here. I've never been the biggest SG fan, Bob Nagy is saying, but doesn't Tony Iommi just make the guitar look freaking awesome? I think SGs look cool, man. I think they look cool. So yeah, that's my take on it. Yeah, Wavelength, we're glad to have you here. We're glad to have everybody here, and make sure that you hit the thumbs up on this video. Let's get it pumping tonight. We're 6 minutes and 43 seconds in. Let's get it jumping from the jump, right? Let's pump it up tonight. Let's have fun. Let's have a little toast. Ah, that's good. Big D says, dude, I still have a 70s Roland phase shifter. Man, those are cool. Those old school, probably a giant phase shifter. Man, I wonder if the caps wear out on things like that. You got to send it in to somebody to get recapped. That's quite a possibility, right? I've got my old MXR Distortion Plus, and I need to send that to somebody to just get it up and running again. Chris Alexander says, does it bother you to wear headphones for streams? It really doesn't. And here's the deal. I don't have to wear them. I can basically do the stream like this now that I know that the audio is good. I can take them off. I can just sit here and chat and know that this thing's picking up everything. It's picking up my stomach grumbling. It's picking up the cans. Look. You can hear it. Wavelength. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. I can't hit the like on that, but I'm going to say thank you very much. What was the Shock House like in a summer heat wave? Hangers, Acto, that is an incredible question. Let me tell you what the Shock House was like in a heat wave. It was a sweat box. And I think maybe the bass player had a window unit in his room, and maybe the singer had some kind of air conditioning box or something in his room. But the room I was in didn't have it didn't even really have windows. It had those crank windows with the little slats. So heat or cold just came in there, and it was a sweat box. My room was a sweat box. So no wonder, probably would have gotten more done if during the day in there. It wasn't even worth being inside there during the day. You're better off going and working a job and coming back and then just sleeping there. It definitely didn't have real windows. Yes, P-Funk, it did not. And man, in the winter you would freeze. Sometimes it gets cold out there. I mean, not Wisconsin cold, but it can get cold out there. And in the summertime, you just roast, and that's the reality of it. But man, the Shock House, it keep pulling me back. I keep trying to step away, and y'all keep pulling me back. Yeah, Wisconsin cold is a whole nother cold, man. Paul is from there. He will tell you that. But we're down here in Florida now, so we're roasting. I went outside for 15 minutes today and roasted. Yeah, it was a place to crash or get gonzo, right? P-Funk, that's all it was. It was a place to crash. It wasn't a place to hang out. It wasn't a place to get a good meal. Was never any good food in the Shock House. The only good food in the Shock House was when someone would bring us takeout from somewhere, or you'd bring home something to eat. Going to see Buckethead in Tampa, Chris Alexander says, I don't think so, bro. I haven't looked into it, but you know what? I just don't think I'll be able to do that. Mike P. Funk, glad to have you here, brother. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I don't know. Buckethead would be a cool show to see, but I don't know if I'm going to spend money like that. Bring a gift, John Pitch says. Yes, if you're coming to the Shock House, you cannot come empty-handed. If you come empty-handed, nothing's going to happen. Chris Richardson, yes, the grind continues, and Chris knows, man. I've had shoulder pain. My shoulder's kind of locked up. It's hard for me to raise my shoulder really past this point. I could still play, but I'm taking a break from that. So I'm thankful that, man, here's the deal. This channel's it's not all about this. And maybe just like I knew that I couldn't just play hair metal, and if that didn't work out, well, I wasn't going to play music, right? It's the same thing with starting this channel. If all this channel was about was me playing licks, I guess I'd be screwed right now, right? But here's the deal. Flyer Boy is saying V30s or greenbacks. Depends on what you're doing, bro. What are you doing? I think to my ears a V30 is tighter sounding. Maybe I'm, but I would probably, if I'm doing clean stuff, if I'm doing a huge range of tones, I would go greenback. But maybe if I was just crunching it out, maybe I'd go vintage 30. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Thumper Squid says, hello, wonderful Bad Brad fans. We're glad to have you here, brother. Ultimately, you use what you have. If I had vintage 30s in all my cabs, my 412 cabs, and all my 412 cabs that I used on the road, those were gifts. Those were endorsements. So that's what I used. Except for the Weber cab I had. I forget which speakers they put in that, but I had two cabs. I had a Hughes and Kettner 412 cab that loaded with vintage 30s that they gave me a long time back when I was with Trick Pony. It was a stereo cab, so it was cool. You could run two different amps into it. Then the Weber cab, and I forget what speakers they put in that. Brad, the most food we ever really had at the Shock House was when Johnny brought home food from USA Donuts and Jamie the singer came home from jail with sushi that his Japanese mother made for us. I remember that. That's a P-Funk. Thank you for that. So yeah, if you were going to eat, Chris Richardson, thank you so much, brother. Thank you. I'm almost trying to view everything. Thank you, brother. So if you were going to eat, if you were the Shock House, you know what your meals were? Well, for me, breakfast there was a little Mexican spot around the corner at a little ratchety strip mall. I believe that road was Sepulveda, I think. Right? P-Funk, Sepulveda was the main road. And I would go around the corner to this little Mexican joint, and they had a breakfast for $1.99. And it was I think it was one egg, toast, jelly. It was like a prison breakfast, dude. It was, and then chorizo, and I want to say chorizo and potatoes. And that was, dude, I'm telling you what, that was probably the best $1.99 breakfast you could ever get. And when that place opened up, and there was a right next to it was like kind of like an Armenian chicken place. It ended up becoming a Zanku, but it was initially a copy of what do you call it? Zanku chicken. Initially, it was a copy of that, and so I would go to both of those places once I started working at the hotel, and I'd come home and I had tip money. I would make tip money working at the hotel. Then I come home, I'd have money in my pocket. I could go to that Mexican place for $2, have breakfast. The Zanku copy place was next door, and they had inexpensive. Look, the Van Nuys where the Shock House was, that was all low rent right there. It was all like, the neighborhood was, by far the Shock House was the worst house on the street, but it was, the poor old guy that lived next to the Shock House. I eventually got to the point where every time he'd yell over the fence about the volume coming from my room, I felt bad, and I would apologize. Oh man, I'm sorry, I forgot. But I would inevitably come home from a night out and whoo-hoo and crank the tunes and all this, or I'd go in the room and I'd close the door and and have the tunes cranked quietly. I learned what level I could crank them and party in my room. So Bob Nagy's got a question. When you were playing with country acts, did you ever get mad that your LA Strip days didn't come to fruition? Hey, Bob, that's a good question. And I never got mad. Here's how it manifested itself. Once I started playing like a lot of arenas with a particular country act, I just reverted to my Sunset Strip ways. It's basically like that movie, The Rocker, and I know I've talked about that, but I was out on the road. I was 43, 44, 45, 46, in that age range, and I was out there partying like a 20-year-old on the road, partying every night, hanging out with people, hanging out with fans, everything that I would have done on the Sunset Strip if Shock had gotten to headline arenas and all that. I was doing all of that stuff when I was doing the country tour. So, and I would start the show off with dive bombs and squeals. So, because here's the thing, all of a sudden I'm in an arena and I go, well, I know how to play arena rock. And so that's the deal. Chris Richardson asked, Brad, did you play with Trick Pony on the tour at Richmond Raceway with Montgomery Gentry and Travis Tritt? I don't believe I was on that, Chris. In all reality, I was only with the original lineup of Trick Pony for a short period of time, maybe 3 months or something like that. And then it became Mach 2 with another singer. So most of, when I got with Trick Pony, they were struggling to hang on. They were trying to get where they could record another album and try to get another single that charted. Because here's the deal. They blew up. When they came out, they blew up and they had success. But you have to maintain that success to stay, at a certain level. And when your next record or whatever doesn't do what the last record does, and you don't have a hit single, then all of a sudden you're not getting radio play. The promoters don't want you as bad. And P-Funk is saying it. Dive bombs and squeals, bro. That's a classic Van Halen show opening. That's how I would start the show, dude. And here's a funny story. And I know I'm skipping around topics, but that. Chris Alexander's asking, Brad, did you ever meet anyone else in Nashville who went to LA too? Yeah, there was a ton of LA dudes that ended up in Nashville. There were a ton of them. I met Mark Slaughter one night. I was playing a showcase with an artist She tours with Billy Joel, has for decades. And I played this show of her original songs one night. And we played this little dive bar, Jack's Guitar Bar, that I did a video about this place. And Mark Slaughter was there, and he comes up, and he said, "Oh, hey, how you doing, dog?" He called me dog, you know. I was like, "Oh, hey, man," I thought it was cool, you know. But this was after grunge and all that, so Slaughter was just in Nashville and doing his thing. So yeah. But yeah, P Funk nailed it in talking about the dive bombs and squeals starting off the show. Dude, and look, man, I guarantee you the our sound guy, he probably didn't have me cranked in the system. Probably because he was afraid um, of what I might do. But here's the deal. I know that those squeals and dive bombs were ratcheting through the arena because as soon as I do them, you'd hear the crowd start to go nuts. And those cabs were behind the stage bouncing off all the walls and stuff like that. So yeah, man, that's the deal. So yeah, also getting back to the meals at the Shock House. The other meals would be USA Donuts. They had a excellent little sub sandwiches that came with a little, not a jalapeno, but the little yellow pepper that's like pickled and spicy. Um, we would get sandwiches from there. What other places would we go? Now look, once I started working and had a job where I was making cash and had a girlfriend that was making bank. There was a sushi place down the road, down on Ventura, further down away from Hollywood and all that. And it was revolving sushi. It was the first time I'd ever seen this. This was 1992. And we would go to this revolving sushi place, and the chefs would be in the middle of it. And they would be making these dishes, and you just grab a plate. And dude, I would leave there with I'd have a stack of plates like that. They charge you by the plate. Demonetize is asking, did I ever go to Barney's Beanery? Yes, I think I even went to Barney's Beanery with P Funk at one time. I think I did. P Funk, I think, or him or Johnny D, or maybe the three of us. We didn't hang out there, but we went. I remember going there a few times. Scott Petrie, glad to have you here. He played a $7,000 Taylor. Wow, dude, that's a lot of cake for an acoustic guitar. Leah has a question. Okay, let me try and catch up. Uh, Let me see if I can scroll back. It would be easy. It's really hard for me to scroll back. Brad, are you referring to Jack's Guitar Bar on Nolensville Road, right below the fairgrounds? Yes, that exact spot. That exact spot. I got you, Leah. Yes, Jack's Guitar Bar on Nolensville Road, right below the fairgrounds. Absolutely, got it. It's hard for me to keep up with the chat, so if there is a question that maybe the moderators can scroll back and repeat it if I miss it. Do you have any great photos you could share on the stream with the country acts? Dude, I don't have like a scrapbook here, but if you go to my Facebook, there's pictures up there. If you Instagram, maybe there's some old shots. But man, it's like, dude, that whole thing, man, it's just in the past, right? How long until Boss Mia makes an appearance? I don't know, Chris A. I'm just trying to get through the stream, bro. Just trying to get through the stream, and have an Altoid, bro. Have an Altoid, keeping the throat, able to communicate. So what else we got here, man? We got 77 people in here. So picked up an acoustic preamp, Boss VC3. Very cool. Very cool, Scott. Yeah, here's the thing, man, about on the road back in the day. When I was out with Colt Ford, it was just the I had an iPhone, but it was what, like an iPhone 6 or something like that, and the pictures, weren't that great. Every now and then we would play somewhere where a professional photographer would be, and we did with Colt Ford, we did have a on-staff photographer that was taking pics all the time. She took video footage. Dude, there's video footage backstage, me getting fired up before I go in arena. I tell you what I'll have to do. I'll have to watch some of that old footage and then put it up, chop it up, and let you guys see it sometime. But stay tuned to the channel. I've got a video that I'm going to release soon to the members section about the tour bus life. And that video's got some pictures towards the end of some stuff on the road. Guitar Golf has said, Brad, I'm trying to think of what color to paint my 93 Korean Squire. It was originally red, now just vanilla prime with some blue and red. I'm thinking metallic yellow or green with black hardware. Metallic, you can't go wrong with a metallic color. What about flake? What about flake color? I used to get my guy to buy Big Daddy Ross paint. You can Google this. It's called Big Daddy Roth. It's the stuff that they rattle can flake stuff. Get a huge metal flake green. That would be my pick. But you know what? Green guitars, you have a tough time selling those. So just bear that in mind if you ever need a couple bucks. Yeah, Chris Alexander says if you haven't seen it, find me on Lizard Lick Towing. Go watch after this. Go watch the Lizard Lick Towing with Colt Ford, and you'll see me on a reality TV show. I always forget about that, dude. So y'all are giving me ideas for future videos. Digging up some of these things I did, and I fight a giant. I do, dude. That guy was huge, and dude, and I was doing this thing where I'd get behind him. They made it look like I pushed him, and then he fell over, but actually, and they may have filmed me pushing him once, but the rest of the time the dude was falling over me and falling on top of me, and he's this big, bony. I mean, God, the guy was probably 6'3" or something. Big, bony redneck, huge guy. And every time he's falling on me, I'm like, going, dude, this, is a kind of, there's certain people, man, the way their physique is, they're just hard boned, and every time you come in contact with them, it's just painful. Like, it's like taking karate, and there's that one guy who's just hard as a bone. And every time you block him, you're just like wincing in pain because I'm basically 6 feet on a good day. On a good 5'12", 6 feet. Me and my wife argue over that. But close enough, right? Yeah, big boned redneck, dude. You had a repo on Lizard Lake? No, I was with a country act. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It's a whole. I was on a TV show. Yes, Lizard Lick Towing. Yeah, and I was in it a lot. I was the main guy doing all the physical stunts. I was just crazy, dude. I'm like, here's the thing. Here's a little inside story. The whole band and crew and everybody was, hey, we're gonna go film Lizard Lick, right? And you had to sign a release, and you were going to get paid a certain amount of money. It wasn't a lot of money. It might have been $350 or $360 or something like that. It was not a lot of money. And when it came time to do this stuff, dude, I just I'm we need somebody to fight this giant. Okay, I just like go, man, I'm gonna kind of like when it's time for a guitar solo, I'm gonna bust through the china shop and start ripping leads, and so that's how I ended up on that. But there was one guy in the band who said, I don't want to be on this. And they said, okay. And he wouldn't sign a release. And so they gave him a key to one of the cleanup rooms. And he just went off to the room for the day. And the rest of us filmed an episode for a reality show and got paid. So, it is what it is. But, that is delicious. So yeah, check that out. It's amusing. It's amusing. I mean, it was something. I got paid, dude. Here's the thing. And I think we were playing the club where we filmed it. I think we might even have played that club that night. So all of that was like, it was made it a longer day. We had to film in the morning and finish by a certain time, and then I think we had to load into the club and then and play the gig. So you figure that day, I made decent money. So that's what you do, man. I mean, we're not talking, dude. So I would make, I don't remember now if I made 300 a show or 350. I think I made 300. And then, making the $366 or whatever they paid us to do the show. So that's like a 600 and something bucks day, and that's decent. That's decent. But here's the deal. If that show aired in syndication, we had signed away all our rights. So it's not like I'm getting SAG-AFTRA checks for every time somebody views Lizard Lick. I'll never see another dime from it. But yeah, that was a nice bump. It's a nice bump on your paycheck. And here it is now 15 years later, and we're still talking about it. So yeah, Pearl Wooden is saying $100 a night per person, few drink tickets, and some jalapeno poppers. Now, let me tell you, that brings back memories. What was your worst gig, and how did you overcome it to play the next show? I'd probably say one of my worst gigs was the last time I played CMA Fest. I grabbed the wrong cables. The CMA Fest, if you play on the river stage, is a throw and go. They provide amps. You bring your guitar, your cable, your pedal board, you plug into whatever's there, and you get a tone and you go. There's no sound check. If you can't get it up and running quick, it's like, you guys are on. And I didn't have my regular gear. I didn't have my regular amps. I had a pedal board that we grabbed. I had a guitar that we grabbed out of the trailer. And the guys, my tech goes, hey, grab a cable out of the box. Use these cables. They weren't my cables, right? Well, those cables had an issue, right? And the issue was extreme hum. Extreme, to the point where every amp I tried, in the 5 minutes I had to quickly get a sound, every one, it had this terrible zzz. So I had to play, the last time I played CMA Fest, I had to play with this horrific buzz that would only go away when I would roll back the volume. And that's, what do you do? What do you do? Well, the next show I played with my own gear. But yeah, that's the clip. That's it, Michael. That's it. They came from the dented can aisle. Yeah. And then after the fact, he goes, "Oh, you didn't grab the cables out of the third drawer, did you?" Yeah, that's the drawer you told me to grab. But, oh, sorry, bro. Those were the wrong cables. So yeah, it was just one of those things, man. Shit happens. But you know what? The sound engineer adjusts. They crank up the other guitar player. I'm singing. So people are hearing my voice, and we did the show. And that's the breaks sometimes. That's the way it rolls. John Pitch, thank you so much for that super chat. I didn't see whether I could hit the like on that. Thank you so much. I did. Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much, brother. New cable, new tech. Well, here's the deal, man. Mistakes happen. Shit happens. I mean, the biggest thing you can learn is to not panic when these happen. We've played shows where there would be all the power on stage would go down, and you've got a designated time slot, and it's like, what do? You just keep playing and hope they turn the power back on. Guitar Golf says, "Why am I so cool?" Man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, brother. I'm just a dude. I'm just a dude on the internet, dude. So yeah, bad cables, dude. Bad cables. It just is what it is. That shit happens. It could have happened the same if one of my cables went bad in the middle of the gig, and all of a sudden you're doing the thing where you're trying to find the sweet spot where your cable works, or the battery dies on your wireless. Look, we would always have new batteries in anything that needed batteries every show. The wireless headsets, the wireless transmitters for the in-ears, wireless transmitters on the guitars, all of that. You try to do pre-game, all of that stuff. What is in store for tomorrow? Tomorrow, great question. What is in store for tomorrow is episode 2, part 2 of the Steven Rosen, Edward Van Halen topic interview. The man who partied with Edward Van Halen. Can you imagine chopping it up? No pun intended, or pun intended, chopping it up with Edward Van Halen. Mario, how you doing? Awesome, man. Glad to have you here. Mario Trejo in the house. Yeah, man, we're glad to have you here, man. People are really digging the Synergy Z-Rec video, and I wanted to add to that because he knows this stuff inside and out. He told me that the Z-Rec module actually has a mini transformer, and it has a miniature power section built into the preamp. That's why that module sounds frigging awesome, dude. Talk about technology. I'm glad he popped in so that I could tell you guys all that. And look, man, I have no doubt that people are going to already on Sweetwater, the heads out of stock. Now they're getting more stock, and I put a link in the video today. The Z-Rec video put a link to Synergy Direct where they have the heads in stock right now. So so the Tone King Imperial module also has the built-in miniature transformer. That's just absolutely incredible. And then you got the transformers inside the Synergy head as well. So man, it's really amazing what they're doing with these things. Eva is saying, would you play Van Halen songs if invited by David Lee Roth for good money though? Oh, Mario is saying more non-master volume style modules on their way. All right, he's giving us hints, dude. And I think it was it last week or the week before? He's gave us some hints that some new stuff is coming, and I believe it's during Gear Fest, Sweetwater Guitar Fest, It's coming. I think it was, Dave said it was September 28th or something like that. And somebody asked about if you believe in using noise gates. I think a noise gate is something that definitely there's a place for it. I don't use them unless sometimes like for instance, the IRD and the IRJ, Friedman IRD and Friedman IRJ, inside the app, they do have a noise gate, and I did use that with those items. But I tell you what, with the Synergy, dude, I haven't used any gate. And even with the Killer Cali, here's the thing, man. When you listen to early Van Halen, right? And you hear the song start and you hear that the sound of that Marshall cooking in the room, those tubes frying. When you listen to the Synergy on a high gain module and you got that little subtle it's just a tiny little bit. It's not something that overwhelms the track, but it lets you know, dude, it's real. It's real, right? And I don't look, and what I'll do if I want it completely quiet when the track starts and then the guitar just goes boom, I just go in and cut out the little space before I start the track. Because here's a tip. If you're shooting these videos, and I'm shooting this video, but meanwhile my computer is over there, right? I will set up, every time I do a backing track, I set up 8 bars of space. That gives me enough room to get from over there, hit record, come over here, sit down, get my placement, hear the click, and then record the part. So I'll just clip out the first 8 bars until the downbeat of 1, and then all of a sudden the guitar tone comes in, and it hits you, man. It's real. I you know what? Everything's all about clean and pristine and all that, and man, the noise and vibe. Put on that. What's that? Bam, bum, bum, bam, bum, bum, bum. What's that Van Halen song? Listen to the intro of that with the bass. You hear the guitar hissing in the background. It's alive. It's a live feeling. It makes things feel live. Okay, so John P had 2 questions. Okay, let me try to scroll back. Here's the problem. I got a very small screen. Oh, John P. Here you go. You have great interviews in the queue. Did you meet these guys playing and from personal relations? Great question, John Pitch. I have not met, well, some of these guys are friends. Some of the earliest interviews, whether it's Roger Carter, who's worked with, Lita Ford and all these, John Waite and all these different people, and John Five and all that. That's my old drummer from LA. And he actually hooked me up with Rudy Sarzo. He hooked me up with, who else did he hook me up with? Let me know in the comments, you guys. My brain's blanking right now, but he hooked me up with Greg Bissonette's brother on bass. He hooked me up. We did the Squirts interview with that band, with all 3 of those guys. And he's got a lot of connections with that stuff. The rest of them, like today, I'm trying to get Johnny Cash's son, John Carter Cash. I think that would be a very interesting interview. I know P-Funk would really like to hear that interview. So I reached out to him. He follows me on Instagram. I follow him. We have a mutual friend in Ira Dean. And I hit him up and said, hey, man, I'd like to get you on the show. He then connected me to his publicist. So I've reached out to the publicist. Hopefully the publicist will help arrange that. And that's one way that gets done. Some of this is people connecting me with people. Some of these people are people that I know. Joseph Wooten, Barry Chenault, Bob Nellis. These aren't maybe always household names, but these are people that have done a lot of cool things. I reached out to a fellow rocker today. That's his aunt was Althea Flint. So I'm hoping to get an interview with him lined up, and he's got probably some great stories about that side of the family and all that. So sweeping up the names for you. Yes, people may be sweeping up the names. Had a buddy go out to GIT, told me the first day they gave all a drum machine to practice with, playing out. Were so originally timed they had no feel. Well, you got to do both, man. You got to play with both. Holly's maybe put some of these other interviews in for me. I'm having a hard time. Here's the deal. I'll let you guys know. I get a window on my phone with 3 comments, and I have to keep up with all of this. What is the sketchiest venue you have played? Chris Richardson says. What is the sketchiest venue I have played? I'll tell you what there was a club in Nashville called Whiskey Rhythm Saloon. And we got booked there to play. What was the day? It was Cinco de Mayo. I get booked to play Cinco de Mayo, so I thought, well, I mean, we don't really have a band. Why don't we create a band to play a Cinco de Mayo thing? So we played. I bought 5 or 4 Baracho. What is it? Those Mexican luchador masks. And we got the idea to call it the Baracho Brothers, which means drunk brothers, right? And it got me and John Billings, Jesse Wooten, the son of Joe Wooten on drums, and my buddy Mickey Gutierrez on sax, like affected sax. And we wore the luchador masks, and we played this sketchy ass bar on right across from the Red Door. And dude, it was weird. It was weird. Like one of the bartenders was trying to get my wife to go and do like some let's say very advanced partying, way more advanced than we would ever. It wouldn't even be a thought. It was just sketch, dude. And this place was paying us, but you had no idea where the money was coming from. Mike's saying, well, see, one of my favorite bars in Midtown in Nashville is called the Red Door. And that is a cool bar. It's full of road guys when they're off the road, because it's right next to Music Row in Nashville. And it just seems to attract a fair amount of locals, a good amount of tourists, and a bunch of Vanderbilt students. So it's kind of a unique, and especially if you go there on a Sunday, it would be the thing. Did you play 12th and Porter? Yes, Creative Native. I did play 12th and Porter quite a few times. Brad, when I was a kid, I would go to Corner Store and was friends with George Corey, who wrote Sea of Love song by Philip. Always thought that was cool. That is cool, guitar golf. Cracking open another cold drink. Man, we've had a really cool time tonight, but we still got time. And it's Saturday night, right? Big D says, dude, I survived all the sketchiest bars back in the day. Don't know how we did, maybe just because we were liked. Thank God. Dude, I'm sure there's even sketchier. I've talked about the story of the super sketchy bar out in Antioch. And if you know Nashville area, that is a super sketchy area. That I worked the door at this place. And it's super sketchy, dude. There's all kinds of sketchy places, man. The Silver Music Man is right there. And that is a super cool. Holly Lewis says by Fridays. No, this was a sketchy place that was off of one of those side roads. It was redneck as hell. There was all kinds of. accelerants floating around out there. I'm not left-handed, Jimmy. There's just something going on with the mirroring of the channel. So no, I'm not left-handed, bro. Haywood Lane. No, it wasn't Haywood Lane. It might have been Haywood Lane. It might have been. Asking for a friend. How do you get good enough to play somewhere? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, right? That's all it is, man. Look, man, you know what? Set a goal for yourself to play one song somewhere. Get up with a band and play one song. Brad, that club out in the sticks with the crazy lady in the trailer. Now here's dude, that story is it. You want wild stories? Go in the tour tales and gig fails section. Guitar Golf is asking what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Polar Seltzer. That the bar itself wasn't sketchy, and but it once after the gig and I needed a place to sleep. That's when it got sketchy. Eva is asking, how do you prevent hand injuries? Well, look, just recently, the last couple days, I injured my shoulder. Movement is limited in this hand. It hurts to elevate this arm. It's still very sore. Preventing injuries is a great question. You got to take it easy, man. You got to take breaks. I'm going to have to take a break for a little while and, maybe a week. And if I do playing, it'll be light playing. So, no more alligator wrestling. Exactly. But here's the deal, man. I got tons of playing clips in the can. So I could take a week off. I've still got the Synergy Soldano video, which is it's got some killer tones on it, and I probably will wait a week, before I put that out. I did a whole video where I plugged both the NF53 PRS into the Z-Rec module and then plugged a Telecaster into the Z-Rec module, both the custom shop and that. And I've got to do something with that footage. So that's kind of seeing if a PRS NF53 can replace the Telecaster. So tons of playing clips and Chris Richardson said, Brad recently saw that Yngwie has not introduced pre-workout to the lineup. Yeah. I got extra stuff in the backup. Yeah, I did a tally the other day. There's 73 videos. So Chris Guitar Golf is asking, could you run that Synergy through the thing you were on this morning? Well, I'm on that thing you're questioning this morning. I'm on it right now. So right now, what you're hearing is the stereo mics built into this. And yes, see that? That's an XLR input, which is perfect for coming out of the Synergy. So I'll be able to do tube tones straight into this, right into a live feed. So, dude, the Polar Go, I think Mike H bought one today. I know Red, Guitar Red that watches the channel, he bought one of these things today. Dude, this thing is killer. The mics on it sound great. It's got an app that you hook up on the phone. You can add reverb, cave, all of that. It's louder now because I'm closer to the microphone. So, John, thank you so much. We want some overtime, dude. Finally received my Machine Shop t-shirt. More Synergy, dude. Oh, man, Machine Shop t-shirt. That place is awesome. Does it go to 11? Yes, Chris Richardson. So, the Polar Go is like the perfect companion to the Synergy because I can just plug straight into this. I've got still my mics, so I'll be able to film videos with the Polar Go, the Synergy, and boom, I could do guitar. If people want lessons or lick lessons or things like that, I can do that now just by using this, and don't even have to run audio into the computer. Now, it's cool to do it that way, but for doing quick videos, yes, Scott Petrie is saying record your acoustic guitar. This has Phantom. This has built-in Phantom power, so you could plug a microphone that needs Phantom power. But man, the microphones on this, I think they sound great. I'm being gentle with them because you'll hear everything, right? But yeah, so that's got stereo. So here's the deal, man. Whatever I want to capture, I can take the Synergy out straight into this, and you got it. Big D is saying, Brad, your thoughts of guitarist Andy Taylor from Remember That Band, Power Station band with Robert Palmer. I think it's cool, man. I think it's too cool. Andy, what was his name? Andy Taylor? Dude, I love Power Station. You had a massive funk drummer. What was that guy? Tony, what was that guy's last name? Tony Thompson. Massive, huge drum sound. And played on a lot of sessions. I used to see Tony Thompson all the time at a club in LA called Sash. Before I got into a Sunset Strip band, I used to go see John Billings play a lot at this little club called Sash. And Tony Thompson would be coming in there. Monster drummer. And you know what? The style that Andy Taylor was playing in Power Station, that's kind of like, this has got stereo condenser mics in it. See the two little dots on there? Left and right. Hear that? It's actually stereo. So this thing, man, you've got built-in reverb, so I could get an acoustic guitar, I can film and have this cool reverb and all that, sing. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I like to hear guitar. I like reverb on my guitar. I like reverb on my vocals. I guess maybe I'm old school. This thing is super cool. The app has reverb, cave, hall, plate, all that. That's the Polar Go. I got a question about, you ever hear Philip Sace? I've been listening to him today. Freaking phenomenal player. Yeah, Philip Sace is sick. Here's the deal, man. Guys like Philip Sace, here's the thing. You can hear what he's playing and you know exactly what it is, usually. But the intensity that a guy like that pulls off, makes me think of shoulder problems in his future, or tendonitis, or some kind of itis. Fretz Brew is saying, could Synergy be used to do a Zoom jam session online with other musicians? I don't see why not. If that's what you do, and you take the XLR out and put it into your computer, then I don't see why it wouldn't do that. For that. Scott's saying he got the SRV intensity. Yes, he's got that SRV intensity, that Eric Gale's intensity. What's the other guy? Jared James is got that intensity. Get some aspirin cream and get to playing. Zofo, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I just, you know what? I'm gonna give it a little rest for a couple days, dude. I've got plenty of playing coming up on the channel, and you know what? That's the thing, Shane. I'm gonna have to figure out what's gonna get this thing loosened. Now, I can't go all the way around right now. I can't go all the way around this way. I'm still having trouble getting a shirt on. But here's the deal. The dull pain that I had before that was constant, that's gone. So man, that dull pain was making it so I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. Okay, my wife's at the door. I think. Are you here?
Did you tell everyone that I helped you fix your arm?
My wife reached into her medicine thing and grabbed something, and it said for back and muscle relief.
Aleve. Ladies.
It was Aleve.
Ladies, get it if you have problem.
Okay.
If there's any ladies on
Well,
the call.
I'll tell you what. I took one,
Oh,
and I instantly, pretty quickly, felt better. And then that night I took one before bed. Now it did make me groggy as hell today. I felt like I was coming off of a bender, but it worked. So it's got me now where I can do basic stuff around the house. John, thank you so much. Synergy amp you have been promoting looks like endless possibilities. I just need the Cali cartridge. Dude, everybody needs the Cali cartridge. Oh, we've got Mia here.
Mia,
now, Mia, I can't pick you up.
No. Do you want to tell them about the awesome dinner I made?
If you want to climb up here, but I can't. You can put your foot there.
Put your foot there.
And climb up. I can't pick you up right now.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Alright. So guys, I'm going to show you some games that you can buy in our Xbox subscription. First one, Tunic.
Oh, we're talking about video games now.
First one, Tunic.
Tunic. Okay. What's the second one?
Ninja Turtle Shredder Revenge.
Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge is a killer game.
I wanted her to tell you about what I just did to dinner.
And Dig
Did you burn dinner?
Oh, I annihilated.
And
So now you have to go get food?
no,
and
I
Dig
just
Dog.
You just ate what you burnt?
Mia said
Dig Dog.
Mia said the chicken was only.
I said and Dig Dog.
Mia, what did you have to put on the chicken to make it edible?
Barbecue sauce.
From Chick-fil-A.
Was it burnt?
Oh yeah,
How can you burn chicken
it was
thighs,
chicken
bro?
thighs, and it was a little bit like raw, like it needed to cook a little more. So I turned it all the way up, and then I walked away.
No. Slow and low, bro.
And
Slow and low, bro.
I thought it was gonna set off the smoke
Slow
alarms.
and low. I started smelling something.
It
I'm
smelled
like,
like burnt popcorn.
it smelled like death.
Yeah. So your chicken's waiting for you, honey.
I guess I'm not having chicken tonight.
Alright, guys, I'm gonna tell you.
All right, you guys go
Okay, go.
and let me finish up.
Say
Thank
see
you, Zofo.
See,
Thank
see you later.
Say bye.
Oh, he's gonna walk.
So yeah, what's for dinner tonight, dude? Bert, look, here's the deal, dude. Don't ever accuse me of burning the thighs, baby. Because I can cook me some chicken thighs now. Let me tell you something. You go to the grocery store, it used to be back in the day, a package of chicken thighs, dude. You put those things in a pan, you put a little barbecue sauce on it, shake a little garlic powder or something on top, and forget about it, dude. That's some good eating. And you can always tell when they're done. You cook them with the skin on, that keeps the flavor in. And you can always tell when they're done because it gets smaller. You can tell when they're done. But dude, you can't beat that, dude. You can't beat chicken thighs. Chicken thighs may be better than drumsticks or chicken wings, right? Chicken thighs, bro. Barbecue chicken thighs. Forget about it, brother. Forget about it. That's a first on this channel that we've talked about. Rhonda, we're so glad that you made it here. And I'm glad that you're having a delicious salad. Yeah, forget about it. Put some chicken thighs on there. I tell you what, dude. You know what you could do? You could take a pan of chicken thighs and put some friggin' gravy on it there. Put that red sauce on it there. Put it in the oven. Forget about it. Delish. Chicken thighs is gonna be my new song, bro. It's all about the thighs, bro. Chicken thighs. I tell you what, man. Now that I know she burnt the chicken thighs, some olive oil. Yeah, put olive oil on the bottom of the glass pan, right? Use those glass Pyrex or whatever it is. She forgot about it and burn them, dude. They're burnt. But here's the deal. She's been ordering food from something that ships the food in a box and all that, dude. Let me drive to Publix. I'll buy the package, the large pack, and I'll cook it, and you'll have chicken for a few days. Uh, yeah, that's the deal with that. I'm not real crazy about this food getting mailed in. She showed it to me, and I'm like, dude, I could go buy that stuff for you. Did you get a grill, bro? That is a great question, John. Now, let me tell you something. Nashville has always had pretty good food. The food game in Nashville over the last previous 5 to 10 years went through the roof. They got amazing food there, dude. It's pretty much anything you can think of. Now I'm in the middle of nowhere, Florida. But I have found some amazing spots. And yeah, hey, musicians, the Broke Musicians Cookbook. That would be a good book. Everybody thinks Meat and Three in Nashville, and that was the thing for a long time. But dude, they've elevated their game. There's all the interesting hot chicken places. There's high end dining. There's fine dining in Nashville. There's everything that you can think of in Nashville. So many places I can't even. If you came to Nashville and I would just go, what do you want? And I could tell, oh, let's go to this place or let's go to that place. It's become like Food City. But here's the deal, man. As far as where I'm at now, it's taken me a while to find my place. Now, Dave, P-Funk, what did you think of Dave's Hot Chicken? I think it's pretty good, dude. I don't think it doesn't taste like Nashville hot chicken. It's close, but I think it's damn good for what it is. Especially the sliders, dude. I like Dave's Hot Chicken, man. I think that's my option here. If me and Mia like to go eat hot chicken, my wife doesn't like it. We'll go to Dave's Hot Chicken and have that. As far as other places around here, there is a Publix very close to my house, and there's a couple places literally by that Publix that are decent, that are good. But having all the options like we had in Nashville, don't have it here yet. Hoping to get more stuff close, but we'll see, man. So Publix is good. And I'll tell you what, dude. Publix fried chicken. Get it fresh, dude. You get it right after they've put it up. It's pretty damn good, dude. It's pretty good. Publix sushi depends on the location. Can be good. Sometimes it just the one by my house, the sushi's okay. It's decent. Look, if you don't want to cook something, you go buy the box of fried chicken and a couple of California rolls. Forget about it. P-Funk says, I think it was good. I got it mild because the hot stuff makes me burp all day. Nothing beats Zanku though. I would fly out to LA just to get me some. Yeah, it's not that. It's a whole different thing. I when I go to Dave's Hot Chicken, I think I get the medium. But I kind of like hot stuff. So, there you go, Dave. Yeah, so he gets Dave's Hot Chicken. It gives you an idea what hot chicken is, but it's not like we generally don't do kale slaw on our hot chicken in Nashville. Dave's Hot Chicken is ultimately an LA take on Nashville hot chicken. John is saying Publix rocks, dude. Get a cold cut deli sandwich, man. Pub sub they call it. That's the salt life. Come down here, get you a Publix sub. Hard to beat, dude. It's hard to beat. I personally, I like Jersey Mike's. I still like Jersey Mike's because I get the number 13. It's the Cancro special. It's usually not even on the menu anymore. What is the Cancro special? It is pepperoni and roast beef. Pepperoni and roast beef. Forget about it. Forget about it. Delicious. Yeah, pepperoni and roast beef. Try it, bro. Try it. Jersey Mike's, dude. If I'm gonna eat a sandwich, for me, that has the flavor. Publix stuff looks great, and they have good stuff, and their subs are good. But sometimes I feel like they're a little bland. Sometimes. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it, and I don't know why Jersey Mike's tastes better to me. But that's just Joyzy. We're going to Joyzy. Dude, here's the deal. There was a guy I watch on here, Brennan Taylor, right? And he has a YouTube channel that blew up, and that is his channel was doing other stuff before, and now he just does food reviews. He goes in guerrilla style, orders food, and films the process, and then reviews the food. And dude, he's making bank. Does this channel look? If I couldn't play guitar anymore, we could do that. That's, who knows, dude? Who knows? I've thought about doing food reviews. Every now and then we'll do a road trip on the channel, and we'll go get something to eat, and we'll film it. So maybe one time, there's been times where I thought, man, I should do a food review. Yeah, that's the truth. And here's the deal: a lot of ideas for food around here. I get the ideas from watching YouTube videos. I showed my wife the other day one of there's little cities around here in Florida, and in these little cities, there's a lot of times these little family-owned restaurants. Those are always my first choice to go. There's a few family-owned places in a little small town, and those are the places I like to eat. If we're gonna, if you're gonna go spend bucks, and you're gonna go have a good meal, like, okay, we got a reason to celebrate. We had a good month or whatever. That's where we'll go. We'll go to a family-owned place and blow $100. I'd rather do that than give my $100 to a big chain. Mullet the Guitar Guru says, any more great stories from LA with Mike P. Funk? There's so many stories with P. Funk that we'll have to do another thing. And then this time we're going to probably have to put it straight on Patreon. So I want everybody to know that the Patreon link is here below. I am building up the Patreon channel just to have a backup in case YouTube gets squirrely or something happens. And go ahead and join the Patreon. It's free to join. But I am going to have to do more stuff with P-Funk because the stories that we could tell would make the hair on your neck stand up. So, yes, everybody join the Patreon. Here's the deal. The reason why I'm going to have to do Patreon is even when I put a video out in the members section of my channel here, and I went, and there's a studio session I did with Michael Wagner, the legendary producer of Ozzy and Metallica and Dokken and Skid Row and Extreme and all of those guys. And there's a short clips of one of my songs. YouTube instantly makes it sharing revenue. So I've unearthed some amazing footage, and I'm going to put some of it up on the channel back from 2001 of me playing filling in for Reggie Wooten down at 3rd and Lindsley in Nashville, playing the most sick guitar solo back when I had short hair, and I'm playing an Ernie Ball Music Man Edward Van Halen model. And I don't even know what my rig was at that time, but I'm gonna post that solo up here, and it's on my Instagram right now. It's on my Facebook. It's on my TikTok. But I'm gonna post it to YouTube, and I'm gonna do a long video talking about those gigs, talking about that particular clip, and then tell people that I'm gonna put the whole clip, just unedited, the band, the gig, all from the view of sitting at the table in 2001, how it went down, and people will be able to watch that. And I don't know if Patreon's going to do copyright strikes or whatever. Yes, and Dave is correct, no political talking here. But, the thing with YouTube is if I post these live clips, every single song we played, because it's a jam band in a club, jamming on classic R&B songs, all of it will get copyright strikes or taken down or whatever. So thank you, Mario. Yes, I'm gonna do a video talking about those gigs, post long clips of it, and you know what? If Patreon gets upset about copyright strikes or whatever, whatever, dude. I'm gonna put the full clips up on Patreon, and I'll go ahead and I'll make that free for people to watch on the channel. I haven't put it up yet, but thank you, Mike H. Thank you so much for being here, brother. Very much appreciated. I'm actually getting to roll out of here and see if there's any char marks on the walls in the kitchen. But man, thank you everybody so much for a great night, a great episode 43, Backstage with Bad Brad. There's going to be more cool stuff coming up, more synergy stuff coming up on the channel. Thank you, everybody, for an amazing night. John, thank you so much. John, thank you for the overtime, bro. It was your suggestion. He says, thank you for the overtime. Great videos all week. Looking good on subscribers, dude. Climbing faster. Yes, it is climbing faster. We're already at, last I checked, 20,153 or 63 or something like that. So we're on the rise. I'll be on the mend for a few days. Meanwhile, the video is going to still keep coming out. Steve Rosen tomorrow. Interview with the man who partied with Edward Van Halen. Yes, partied with Edward Van Halen. I'll see you guys 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time. Have a great evening. Thank you.